Hi, let's do this. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition is abysmal. I hope you have not touched this piece of garbage. Just going to put it out there right away. Bethesda needs to feel the heat on this one because it's one thing to break your game after 9 years last year. It's another thing to wait 18 months to do something about it. It's a completely separate subject to make that return after 18 months and make the problem worse. So rightfully, the community is taking Bethesda and now in turn Xbox to task. But the main reason I wanted to follow up here on this subject was simply because there were things that I was not aware of when I made my already scathing review on the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. Everything from the pricing of some new creations added in as part of Creation Club that are designed to completely scam you, all the way to PlayStation fans not even getting their hands on some of the new free content. This reeks of lack of preparation. And I just have to ask what the point was. What do you hope to get out of this? Is this some like deliberate internal ploy to sabotage Elder Scrolls 6 by dropping Shattered Space around this time last year and now Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition? Are we just like trying to whittle away all of Bethesda's goodwill so that when Elder Scrolls 6 comes around, I'm jaded beyond belief, and even if the game is heat, I won't buy it? Like, is that what we're going for here? Because we're on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, Reddit is having a good time with Xbox marketing, which now I finally have a picture I can point to and say, hey, if you want to put Xbox marketing into a nutshell of how disconnected they are with their own product, here you go. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition's available today. Everyone liked that. Now, if it worked at the bare minimum, I'm sure we would. But Xbox showed with Redfall and those leaked internal emails from Phil Spencer thinking like Redfall would be like an 80 Metacritic game and could be one of their big exclusives of the year and do well, that they don't really interact with their own content clearly, because anyone who lays hands on Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition realizes Bethesda has made their own game, which I thought was pretty great, significantly worse over time. Not just through optics and pricing, but also just like it runs worse. That's unbelievable to me. So people on Reddit have had a bit of fun with this new social post. Everyone hated that. There's your 9,000 upvotes. So yeah, people aren't pleased about this. This is not an opinion I'm expressing that's within the minority. A lot of folks are really upset across the Fallout community, and rightfully so, because the question you have to ask in all seriousness is like, if this is to celebrate Fallout 4, I don't want to know how you feel about something you don't care about, because this should be, I think, an IP you care deeply about. It certainly matters to you when it's driving a lot of money, like, oh, hey, you know, the Fallout TV show, and hey, the next gen update, and hey, 76 expansions and DLC. Like, it should matter enough, right? I guess not. And so now people are going over to Steam and rightfully leaving their thoughts in the review section on the Steam page for both the Fallout 4 Creations Bundle, which is the new one that dropped yesterday. For those who are not informed, these are all of the previous creations that were a part of Creation Club wrapped into one bundle and sold off to you. So this does not include any of the new creations that have come out, none of which, in my opinion, thus far are really anything to write home about. But at least if those were kind of rolled into the overall bundle, you might have a little bit of a leg to stand on here. But it's $20 of old junk. So yeah, it doesn't represent the new era of creations, which honestly, I don't think they did a good job doing that either. But when you go to Fallout 4's own Steam page now, people are leaving reviews on that as well. And it's not pretty. Like, people are really going after Bethesda, and there's a real sentiment that's been growing since Starfield of anger. The thing that I feel as someone who's been a part of this community for half my lifetime is like how little it feels like they care. I'm sure internally things are on fire and they're like, oh my God, this is awful. But as a fan, I look at this and I go, everything since 76 has been nothing short of disastrous for you. Even Starfield's launch, for all the money it made, and even as someone who did like the game a lot, I can objectively look at the conversation that surrounded that game, and if I'm Bethesda, I still don't have a lot to feel great about. You need a win. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition was the easiest opportunity at a win for you. Here's this thing that many of you know what it is. We're going to make it better for you. Here's a lot of new content. It is that simple. Gamers are easy to please. And I don't mean that like we're smooth brain, but like new stuff usually makes us pretty happy. Not breaking the thing we already have. So That's why people are leaving the negative reviews, because Bethesda's made it worse. This gets into some of the new stuff that I was not aware of when I was making my review yesterday. One such thing is I talked about some of the free content that did come to Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. You see, with the launch of the new creations, one of them we discussed was the Tale of the Beast Hunter, which was a heavily fan service driven mod officially made by Bethesda Game Studios. And it's there you can get this kind of Fallout New Vegas fanboy style drip where you can get like the NCR helmet, the Lucky 38 jacket, you see a little Deathclaw pauldron. It's pretty nice. And I thought to myself, again, in the mess of everything happening here, I'm trying to keep a level head like, okay, this could be cool, but we kind of know what Bethesda's going for here. All right, this wasn't on PlayStation. This wasn't available. This wasn't ready to go. I mean, again, we know who this is for, and I talked about this yesterday, but I'm going to re-emphasize it, so apologies if I sound like a broken record. This is for the show fans that currently Xbox and Bethesda want to take every dollar from, as we'll get into with the prices in a moment here. But this is not about you or me, the people who love this franchise, kind of helped get it there in the first place. Shout out to all the OGs for Fallout 1 and 2 who got us to 3, because that's when I jumped in. Things like this, like, how does that fall through the cracks? Like, how is the DLC not ready to go on PlayStation? Why is that fan base getting overlooked in all of this? How is that a mistake that's made? I know I could hear it in my head. There are people who hear all these things, maybe even people who work at Bethesda, like, that's a little thing, it's overreacting. No, it's all these little things that add up for something that's supposed to be a big celebration of the franchise. I can't believe there was a point just a week or two ago, I'm comfortably excited about Fallout between Burning Springs and Season 2. Now it's kind of become like, all right, I'm interested in Burning Springs, but the fact that, let's be real, okay? 76 has done a great job redeeming itself. I'll never take it away from the game. I'll also never be like that stay-at-home 76 fan. I'll dive into things like Burning Springs and then leave. That's just the type of player I am. But 76 should not be the center of the great content that Fallout is doing in the gaming sphere. It started as a single-player franchise. It's known as that. It's most celebrated as that. It's best as that. Like, the idea that a live product might be the best running thing right now for Fallout in gaming, because Bethesda is now neutered Fallout 4 so much on PC that I almost have been radicalized enough where I might just cope install 76 to be like, you know what? I wanted to play Fallout. I wanted to play something new with Fallout. Is this an elaborate ploy to get me in there? That's where my head goes. But like, the fact that this is where we're at now is insane to me. That this prominent single player franchise has its best running thing in TV and live service. Good for this, but you know, as a fan, not crazy about that. So again, DLC missing for PlayStation fans. Then people start to break down the prices and discuss those on Reddit. How about this one? An official creation that's been put up for $8, right? So it's 600 credits, but to get that, actually, you really have to spend like $10, but this is for a perk overhaul. These are the prices we're talking about here. Again, I respect the idea of letting it be a free market, but no doubt there's a free counterpart for this. In general, in the mod section of the game, there's a free counterpart for this online on Nexus. Like, you can find all sorts of great mods. But again, for those who are newer, casual, we know what happens here. You go in and you spend and you spend and you spend. There's a reason Bethesda is turning their games into platforms. There's a reason they went back and took 2011's Skyrim and added creations to it, albeit they did a much better job with that, which I applauded them for. Fallout 4, Starfield. This is about money. But they, as in even some of the creators, I try to defend the modders, but this type of stuff's indefensible. They do not care, whomever it may be, about what it looks like, which is like, hey, money bags, and they just shake me dry for it. It's terrible, dude. There's no way someone should be paying $8 for a perk overhaul, especially when Cyberpunk, with Phantom Liberty, by the way, gave us a overhauled leveling up system alongside a ton of other updates for free that had nothing to do with Phantom Liberty. That's how you do it, right? That's how you celebrate your comeback. That's a great example of that. Think of how Cyberpunk started. Terrible, broken. Fallout 4 didn't even start in that position, at least in my experience. Okay? I thought it was totally fine. Bad creative decisions here and there? Sure. But Fallout 4, I think, started in a better spot. To get 10 years down the road and be a company that actively supports their games, this should have been a big moment. And I get Bethesda was clear about what would be here, but when you see what they were quietly sliding it under the surface, that's where the real anger starts. Then there's the other thing that really bugged me. I was watching Juicehead's video on it. I'll have it linked down below. Check it out. He showed how they've now broken how mod install space works. So when you actually start to install these mods, you need more space than it's actually being communicated to you. So you'll see on screen here, for example, that he has 1.24 gigabytes of free space on Xbox, and the download is 880 megabytes. But if he went to install that, which he shows in his video, it doesn't work. This is something Bethesda has teased will be expanded. They did mention this in their Steam write-up leading into the launch of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. But even things like this, like currently existing things that worked a specific way on Xbox, no longer work that way. And the problem with all these things being broken is when Bethesda decides to fix this, I don't know, in another 18 months, we get to do this all over again. What more are you going to undo? What more are you going to break? What are you possibly going to fix in that mess? And with that, of course, mods have to be updated. So things like Fallout 4 Script Extender already got updated. That's enabled other mods to get their updates going. Like, kudos to the modders. They've been like right on it, which is awesome. There was a time back then you had to wait a lot longer than that. But, you know, for a community-led effort, it's been really great to see. But the work doesn't stop, because anytime Bethesda touches this game, that really ruins the modding scene, because now everyone has to update everything so compatibility works. And now, because your best version of the game was before you came in 18 months ago and touched everything, now there's versions that work with that. There's versions that work with newer Fallout 4. It's completely destroying the game, where it's tough to just go and play it at all. So much like with Starfield, where a lot of modders kind of just abandoned the scene, I could see this becoming a hassle and just being like, I'm out. And when you're counting on them to make you some money, do I have to spell it out? It's right there, man. It's right there. It's right in front of you. Just got to pay attention, you know? Sorry, I don't mean to be condescending, but just like, God, dude, you know, it's right there. It's right there. But anyway, that's what's going on with Fallout 4. I just wanted to kind of clean up the mess here a little bit. Just tie those loose ends that I missed in my initial review. Apologies for that. And then we'll talk about the Todd Howard interview tomorrow or Thursday. We'll see. I have some other video ideas in mind, but I wanted to get everything Fallout 4 related off my chest before diving into an Elder Scrolls 6 conversation. But yeah, like I said last time, don't touch this. Take it easy.